All right, this is section 5.2c. We're going to write and graph the polynomial functions. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to happily draw a conclusion. Then we're going to graph the polynomials. By default, you all will use your Desmos. I'm going to write the formula for the polynomial, and I'm going to determine the equation. So I'm going to work my way backward. So first step, let's draw a conclusion. It says use these graphs and draw a conclusion. So there's no correct or wrong answer. For me, I start with the even or odd. So even or odd. So I'm looking here, and I know that both the end point, the end behavior, is both going down. So that means this is an even power. So the power of the polynomial is even. And they both are going down. So the leading coefficient is negative. Do you see that? And once that's done, I'm going to look at how many intercepts. I have 1, 2, 3 intercepts. So I have 3 x intercepts. And look at my turning point. 1 turning point, 2 turning point, 3 turning points. So if I have 3 turning points, the n value is 4 or up. That's always my conclusion. I'm going to see if it's even or odd. The graph is positive, the a value is positive or negative, how many intercepts, and what could be the maximum n value. All right, now let's take a look at this one. This graph, it's going up, the other way, going up and then going down. So I'm guessing the n is odd. I'm not guessing, I know it's odd, because if both of them go up or if both of them go down, then it's an even. If not, it's an odd function, right? We've seen even and odd functions. And let me see how many turning points. Turning points, TP. So turning points are going down, 1 turning point going up, another turning point going down. So I have 2 turning points. That means the n value is 3 or up. And this kind of mimics, it's one is going up and one is going down. So the leading coefficient is positive. So that's what I have. So the highest power of this graph here, of this graph, could be 3 and up. And I have 2 turning points, and it's an odd function. How cool is that? Just by looking at it, you can actually go ahead and graph all of that, conclude all of that. Now let's go ahead and graph the next one. Again, you all will use your Desmos, but I like to go ahead and factor these. When I factor, I'm going to factor x squared from these two. So I get x squared, x plus 1. I'm going to factor, I'm going to factor -4. So I get x plus 1. So my factors are x squared minus 4 times x plus 1. I'm going to use a darker color here. And this is difference of square, x plus 2, x minus 2, and x plus 1. X plus 1. So from here, x plus 2, my intercept is -2. Remember, you got to set it equal to 0. It's always the opposite. I don't know if you can see this color. Let me use a different one. So from here, my intercept is -2. From here, my intercept is +2. From here, my intercept is -1. So -1, +2, and -2. Okay? That's first thing here. And it's positive. So that means it's an odd function. For odd function, you simply copy the graph of x cubed, the end behavior. That means one is going down and the other one is going up. Let me move this from here to here, to here. Actually, just to here. Okay, now the multiplicity is 1, 1, 1. So I know the graph is going to cross, go up, cross, go down, cross. And I should have found my y-intercept. I think I'll find my y-intercept. So this crosses, comes down. I'm going to find my y-intercept. When I find my y-intercept, I plug x as 0. So 0, 0, This becomes a 0, this becomes a 0, this becomes a 0. So my y-intercept is negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My y-intercept is negative 4. So the graph crosses and then, okay, so let me redo this one. If you want, you can pause here, but I'm going to write down my x-intercepts. My x-intercepts are negative 2, positive 2, and negative 1. My y-intercept is negative 4, and multiplicities are odd, so I know my graph, and the power is also odd, so I know one goes up and the other one goes down. Crosses, 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 and crosses. You can cross-check this graph with Desmos, which you will, I know, but even without Desmos, we can get the right graph. All right, let's go take a look at the next one here. The highest power is even, and you can see that this is negative. That means my graph is going to go in the opposite direction of an even graph. I'm going to go ahead and factor. I'm going to factor negative x squared, so I get x squared minus 4. And when I get x squared minus 4, it's negative x squared, x plus 2, x minus 2. So my x-intercepts are, I'm going to take this, set it equal to 0, so I get x is equal to 0, right? X squared is 0, so x is 0. X plus 2 is 0, so x is negative 2. X minus 2 is 0, so x is positive 2. Y-intercept, let's go ahead and plug 0. I plug 0 here, 0 here. 0 plus 0 gives me, very good, 0. I'm going to plot these. I'm going to use a nice color to plot these. I'm going to use a bright blue. 1, 2, negative 2, positive 2, and 0. The leading coefficient is negative, and the power is even. Even and negative both go down. Multiplicity is even. Multiplicity is 1. If you don't see a power, power is automatically a 1. So this is 1. So at negative 2, the graph crosses. Because this is an intercept, it has to come down. Bounces, it has an intercept, it has to come back up there. So as you can see, the multiplicity is even. Oh, different color. The multiplicity is even, the graph is bouncing off. Multiplicity is odd, the graph is crossing. So you have to be very careful. If it's an even power, your graph, both of them go up or both of them go down. If it's an odd, we've seen that, it's like this. If it's positive, or it's the other way down if it's negative. Okay? Again, pause, go back to see if you understand. Write the formula, not the formula, they mean write the equation. So let's go ahead and take a look at the equation. You should know this by now. I'm going to start with my x-intercepts. What are my x-intercepts? 0 and 4. My x-intercept is 4, x-intercept is 0, x-intercept is 4. That means my factors are x and x minus 4. As you can see, one is going down, the other one is going up. So I know my n is going to be an odd number, not even. For even, remember, both of them go up or both of them go down. For even. Okay? And now at x, it is bouncing. Do you see that? It is touching and just kissing the x-intercept and bouncing back. That means this is even. At 4, it's crossing happily. That means this is 1. So the equation of this graph is x squared parentheses x minus 4. Do me a favor, plug this into Desmos, see if that works. You know what? Let's just do it. X squared parentheses x minus 4 close parentheses, and There you go. You have it. All right, now let's go ahead and where's the other graph? Let's take a look. Oh, it's not letting me. Let's take a look at this one. Again, both of them are going up, as you can see. That means it's an even power and it's a positive coefficient. Even and positive. Starting with my x-intercept, this is -1, this is +1. So this is x plus 1 and this is x minus 1. X plus 1, x minus 1. By now you should know how to go back and forth with intercepts and factors. This is happily bouncing off, so my power is 2. Happily bouncing off, so my power is 2. And that's it. As you can see, if you add them, the power is even. They're bouncing off. It's perfect. Your y-intercept also matches, because when I plug x as 0, 1 squared plus 1 squared is, 1 squared times 1 squared is 1. Again, I want you to pause if you're having any questions, and then go back to do the problems in your homework. Okay, now I'm moving on to the next one. Here they gave us all the information and they're asking us to write the equation. This could be, if you see your y-intercept is 0, 0, that's the most easiest part. X is 0, my factor is x. X is 3, my factor is x minus 3. So when they say zeros, what does that mean? They are your x-intercepts. Zeros, x-intercept, solution, they all mean the same. What's my highest power? 4. So let me write that down. X times x minus 3. So highest power should be 4. And the intercept is 0, 0. So this is my 3. This is my 0, 0. 3 and 0, 0. It's an even graph, so both of them are going up. Do you see that? And my y-intercept is also 0. So what can happen is I can have a graph like this, or I can have a graph like this. Right? So the only way I can have a graph like that is either both of them 1, or both the powers are, both the powers are 2. When I have both the powers 1 and 1, okay, this might be confusing, yeah? Let me go back. So this part was clear, the graph. And the highest power is 4. That means both of them must be even. That means it bounces, comes back, and bounces. Let's keep it simple, okay? Let's take a look at the next one. Anybody still copying? I like to ask that question. Let's take a look at, again, if you're done, I want you to pause, copy it, work your homework without looking at the video, and come back and take a look at the video again. Now let's move on to the next one. X is equal to 0, my factor is x. X is equal to 1, my factor is x minus 1. So again, the same thing, x minus 1. The intercept is 0. The highest degree is 4. That means both of them have to be 2 and 2. It's the same concept there. 0 and 1, right? This is my graph, both going up. The only way is bouncing off. Okay? And if you have any questions, don't hesitate.